Hello everyone, it's Caribbean E. Welcome to the channel. Hope everybody's just having a wonderful and marvelous day and that you are in the best of health. Today I'm coming with another retirement perspective video. And this video is titled The Pension Factor. The Pension Factor. Today I'm going to talk about pensions and how they really work, because you got your hallway rumors or you got your gossip lilies that walk around gossiping, saying different stuff without the proven facts. First of all, I'd like to thank God for a union job, period. And I know Jimmy Hoffa is still over all of the unions. He's been there for the years that I worked for public services. So union jobs are the best jobs. I would definitely say that. Union jobs are the best jobs. Then you have some guys working non-union jobs. If you're working a non-union job, don't expect no gold mine at the end of the tunnel, because you consider a scab. And when they have walkouts and boycotts of jobs, whether it's cement mixers or school bus drivers or the mail folks or whoever, okay, UPS, and them drivers get paid good. UPS and FedEx, they get paid pretty good, I would think. Okay, but you have a lot of people that are working non-union jobs. Okay, so again, if you're working a non-union job, don't look for no pension, because you ain't getting it, because you're not working for a union. And I would say to all the guys that are working non-union, getting paid or living paycheck to paycheck, you might as well get ready to live like that the rest of your life. And don't forget, you pick up that trash and whatever you're doing for the company, is tearing your body down every single day, whether you're working in the cold, whether you're working in the heat, whether you're working in the States where you got 4 seasons, or whether you're working in the States that's got 2 seasons, okay? That job is wearing your body down. Least get paid for it. Least get paid for it. So I would say never work for nothing. And when you work in a scab job, you working for nothing, and you got no union benefits coming at the end of your career, and you still got to go out and look for another job. Okay, now I want to confirm all the myths about retirement and what you're going to get at the end of your years, and how the point system works with your age. So this is like an information type video as it relates to your retirement. Some of you guys are close, some of you guys are not so close. And I would say contact your pension personnel, have a talk with them, whether by phone or just going to the union hall, 631, and find out where you're standing and how long you got to work. Because ain't no sense you just working from day to day not knowing where you are. Okay? Because I definitely checked out, and because I checked it out early, I was actually able to retire early, because I had some paid personal days, and then I had some vacation. So I was able to hit the deck instead of just waiting and having more days at work. Because like I said, the more days you work and you front loader drivers, the more buckets you pull and push, especially right now during the COVID season, it's having an effect on your body. You can only pull those containers and buckets for a matter of time. I pray that you guys will be safe, because a friend of mine that slipped in Henderson, he slipped on something, and I don't know if I think it was his collarbone. So they put his collarbone back in the sock and all this kind of stuff, a lot of stuff. He been working on a job for almost 40 years. Okay? Now listen, it is not how long you work, because sometimes that's just stupidity, because your body is not bionic. So if you want to finish strong and finish good, you'll work for a certain amount of time where you know that you can cash in. And I'm going to show you how to cash in now. So your pension is what you will receive at the end of when you get ready to retire. Okay? Don't believe the rumors in the hallway, because I was told a lot of things too till I actually got to the Union Hall, and I got the full beans and franks. Okay? Because sometimes you're getting lied to by your buddy or by this person. He say and she say. So listen at this. So retirement relates to your age and years of service. It starts the day you signed up at the union and you go to that union job and you work. You're seeing a lot of teachers now that are cashing in because teachers are in a union. It's a union job. I believe even the bus drivers, it's a union job. So if you have a union job like the teachers, they can cash out, get that money, those years they put in by the age, okay? And some of those teachers could have went a lot further, but now since we got the COVID, and they talking about just sending everybody back to school like we don't have a pandemic going on, that can be a problem, because some teachers are saying and giving their testimony saying this ain't worth my life, and I don't blame them. Okay? I don't blame them. So now the retirement system, or should I say the pension system, works on points. You get 2 points a year. Your first 6 months, then an additional 6 months. So there's 2 points per year you get. You add those points to the years that you've already put into the company. And you'll know that actually by going to the union, find out how many years you got, and the pension people keep track of all that, because that's your life, your livelihood when you retire. Unless you got something else on the side that you can add to the pot. Okay? So what you do is, and if you want to find today what you'll get at the end of when you get ready to retire, it's those points and it's your age. Okay? Now, but hold up, let me say this before I get too ahead of myself. The point is to get to Pier 82. The point is to get to Pier 82. That's the sweet spot. And there was a rumor in the contract that it was going to, the new guys that are coming in, it was going to have to be Pier 84 based on the contract. So I want you guys to get clarification on that, because some of the new guys are just coming in, and the way they got the contract written, that means it's going to stretch you out for another couple years before you can actually reach Pier 84. So Pier 82 by your age. That's how it works. So it's the amount of years and the age. So add your years with your age, and it adds up to Pier 82. Now, if you get to Pier 82, at that time you can retire. Okay? Whether you got good overtime, not overtime. And don't forget, every day and every second and every minute that you on the clock counts towards your retirement. Okay, so when you get to Pier 82, you're in good shape. It's time really to say goodbye if you got your business in order. If you work past that, you just working. Because like I said, one guy was there for almost 40 years, and he said, well, I ain't got nothing else to do. This is my life. This is all I got. Same guy ended up slipping, falling, collarbone. You got to remember, your body ain't like it was when you first started out. Whether you was in your 20s, your 30s, or whatever it is. Your body is not like it was when you were 25 years old. Old man time is coming, okay? You can work out all you want, exercise, stretch, which is a good thing before you go to work. But at some point, your body will tell you that it's time to leave that job. Okay? Don't be like the guy that I heard of that worked too many years. He got off the job, and in 2 years we find out that he was dead. Don't be that person, okay? Know when it's your time, because to everything there's a season. Even the Bible says that. Ecclesiastes 1. 3 and 1, I believe, or 1. To everything there's a season. Time for you to start that job, and it's going to be time for you to get off that job. So, like I said, 2 points a year, steady working. Now, if you have a break of service, that changes everything. When I said break of service, I mean that if you get sick or you need an operation, if something happens and you got to be off the truck or be not counted in the union for a minute, that's why they tell you when you get hurt, keep paying your union dues, because you won't get too far behind. Just keep paying your dues. But say if you get hurt and you can't keep paying your union dues, you on SIS or whatever you may be on, and say if you're out 3 months, say if something happens, you get cancer, and you gotta go for chemo, radiation, the whole 9 yards, and you don't get the release from the doctor till 2 or 3 months later, or sometimes even 6 months. Now you got to come back, start where you left off at, back with your points to make up the time that you lost. Okay? So, I just covered if you're injured, and you must make up the time that you've lost. Now, all of a sudden, also, if you become a foreman, now, I've seen a lot of guys become foremen, whether you're at Cheyenne, whether you used to work at Sloan, or whether you work at Henderson. You come off the truck, you go into the office and be a foreman. Game changer. Game changer. Okay? Because you're considered almost like missing in action. Because now you're off the battlefield. You're in the back office. You're a foreman. You're a lead man. And I've seen some guys do 6 years as a foreman, do 8 years. They decided, and they had the opportunity and the privilege to come back to the truck. Well, you're 6 years down. You're 6 years in a hole. Or you're 8 years in a hole. So now you got to make up that time to get to your Pier 82. So you got to remember that when you want to go in the back office and be a company man, to be a foreman. You got to remember that. Because you got to start where you left off at. You ain't got to start all over again, but you got to pick up where you left off at. Let me see. What else I want to say? So, it is your responsibility to keep up with your points and your years of service in case they make a mistake. Because I kept all my pay vouchers. I kept them all because I wanted to know exactly how I'm looking when I retired. And don't forget, you guys that's working now, and say, Phil, you've been there for 15 years. Good. 15 years. And say you're 35. Well, that's simple. You had 15 and 35, and that's what you got. But remember, the goal is Pier 82. Pier 82, for you to have been there for over 10 years. Now, like I said, the guys just getting there. I believe the language has been changed. But you guys got to check that out when you go to the union. To Pier 84. That means you got to work a little bit longer. Not that much longer, but just a little bit longer. Or matter of fact, you got to work another year. That's what it is. So if you get Pier 82, if you at Pier 82 in this year, say if you got Pier 82 in 2020, 2021 is the year you can be eligible at the end of year 2021. That means January of 2022. Get the revelation, because you're going to be asking some questions, because it's your life, plus it's your money, and it's your years of service. So I wanted to just run that by because I know some of my retirement videos, I covered a whole lot of stuff from people, from dogs chasing me on the street, from people fighting in the middle of the street, from all kinds of stuff I covered. I covered about Chicken George and how he kept messing with that dog, and the dog got a hold of him, and it was like his face turned completely pale. He was a white guy, but his face turned 2 colors whiter when that Rottweiler got a hold of him, because it kept messing with him, feed them chicken bone. I shared that on one of my videos too. Okay, some of the stuff that I've been through the years I work is very, very hilarious and very, very comical. But what is serious is the years you got now up under your belt, drivers. Okay, and your age. Put them two together, and if it adds up to P82, you're in good shape, because you've been there for a while. You grandfathered in, you've been there for a minute, you served your time. Okay? Now, I want to say this in this video. Some of these guys think the longer they stay, the more money they get. Well, that's not so. Because when I cashed out of my retirement, I was already sitting at 90%. I was at Pier 90 when I retired, because I could have been gone a long time ago, but I decided to stay for a minute, get my life together, make sure my finances is lined up. Okay? And when I figured this all out, and I sat down with my wife and figured that, I said I could actually retire next year, because some guys are still there, because they figured they ain't got no other life but to sit their whole life working for Republic Services or some other company, or driving a bus, or being a teacher. At some point, you've got to let that job go and begin to enjoy your life while you still have it, because tomorrow is not promised to you. Today is the day. So, if you decide to stay 30 years, you ain't gonna make no more in retirement than what I did when I got my money. I promise you. If you're sitting there thinking, and I'll give you a small hint before I end this video. If you're sitting there thinking that if you stay on board, stay on the battleship of Republic for 30 years, you're going to get the same thing I get. Because I asked a lady, and she said, well, if you stay till 30 or past 30, you're only looking at a couple of dollars different, a few dollars different on your retirement. She said, but you're in good shape right now. You can go right now. And she said, with the vacation time you got, and with the paid sick days that you didn't take, you can leave in January instead of leaving in February. Man, I lifted my hand and said, God, I thank you. Because I wanted to get off that job. I was tired of it. I was tired of foolishness. I was tired of ripping and running. I was tired of customers leaving stuff out any kind of way. Okay? Battery acid, all these hazardous waste stuff. I was just tired. I'm just fed up with it, man. And after a while, you guys will get fed up and tired too. I know you guys is out there on the front load of trucks. You got to push them buckets. If you go on vacation, somebody going to come back and tear them wheels up. You got to come back and ride them up. Sometimes they don't fix them wheels right away. Now you're pushing your body, trying to get them buckets placed so you can dump them. Okay? So, every train comes to the station. Every cruise ship comes to an island. Every plane comes to the airport sooner or later. And if that plane don't, it'll stay in the air till it runs out of fuel, and it's gonna crash somewhere. Don't be a crash landing. Know when it's your time to say goodbye. Save up all that money you're getting right now, okay? That $1,000 a week, $4,000 a month, like I was getting, a little bit more than that if I got a little overtime, okay? Put some of that money away, because believe it, my friend, you're going to need it. And don't think if you stay up there, you stay on this job until you're old as Benjamin Franklin or Abraham Lincoln, that you're going to make more, because you're really not. Don't be fooled and trapped by the system. Know when it's your time to say goodbye. Just have your ducks in order. And this is for the young cats that's taking their money and throwing it out on stupid, frivolous stuff. Never want to put their money in their pension always want to buy big rims and get them hydraulics on your car. You're the one that's not educated. You're the one that gives the old timers a bad name and also sometimes a bad contract. And guys sit up in the union hall fighting and arguing because the young guys want to take their money and they ain't thinking about the future. If you got a union job, let that union job work for you. That's what you're paying them union dues for once a month. If you get into a jam on a job, go to the union hall, have them negotiate with the company to get you your job back and get you in the driver's seat. Don't get yourself fired. Don't fire yourself. Just make sure that you're in the right. Make sure you ain't got 1,000 write-ups, okay? Because this new contract we just got, yeah, it's good money, the one that I went out on, but also they can write you up many times as they want to. You always got to look at the fine print. Always have the union represent you because you actually paying for the union. They work for you. You don't work for them. They work for you. So know your rights. Know your rights. Know your years. Know your days. And know when it's time for you to cash out. I take my hat off to all the old timers, those that are getting ready to retire, that handle your business, handle it well. I take my hat off to all the school teachers that said enough is enough. It's time for me to go and enjoy life, because like I always say on this channel, life is to be enjoyed. A lot of people are watching me from work. Some of them ain't even subscribed to the channel, but they're watching me, seeing my moves, seeing how my life is, and trying to figure out what they're going to do with the rest of their lives. So I just gave you some awesome jewels that you can take with you as you work towards your retirement. Be safe and don't be sorry. Do the right thing and let your chips stack up. So when it's time for you to retire, you can retire well and not have to get off that job and go get another job. And that's what a young guy gonna do, because he ain't gonna have nothing in the pension, because he wanna put everything in his car, and by the time it's time for him to retire, that car gonna be an old jalopy somewhere, okay? And he gonna be leaving this job and going and get another job. So, like I always say on the channel, in the meantime, between the time, life is to be enjoyed. Hit that subscription notification, and guess what? We'll see you on the next video. And don't forget, if there's something that I said that you don't understand, get in touch with your union rep. Contact the Union Hall 631. They'll break it down for you so you'll know how you're standing, because it's your life and it's your money. Till the next time, peace.